Right, I'm finally on to episode 2. It's the next day now. Yeah, I think I uploaded it, but I didn't even share it on Facebook. But it was a weird episode. Like, I just don't know what happened to yesterday. I did go up to the hairdressers, and I made an appointment. We had quite a long chat about it, about whether she could do it tomorrow or Saturday, and which times on Saturday. And she was saying, you know, when can you come in? And I was like, look, I think it's about 5. What's that, about an hour? She went, yeah. I said, so whenever you're free for an hour, just let me know and I'll come in. 12:30 on Saturday. And I'd walked all the way up the hill and I was like, hills are a killer. It did set me right off. I had to stop about 7 or 8 times. I was like, just exercise it though. It was a bit tough. And I walked all the way home and it was a bit better on the way home. And I was like, well, at least that's some exercise for my ankles where they're fucking playing up. And then I sat there and I thought, and I'm working on Saturday and I've just made a fucking appointment for 12:30, you cock. like I say, it's the frequency of it. It's the fucking frequency of it. Just, oh, for fuck's sake. So you waste an hour of your life walking in pain to make an appointment that you now have to go and cancel. That was an achievement. But that's fine. I got there this morning. Today is paper day. I'm going to get my clerical and administrative tasks up together, hopefully. I may have to make some phone calls. I may have to be a person and talk to persons, which may not be fun. Oh, I guess, blimey. Fucking hell, totally wrecked his vibe there by stroking him. But yeah, it's like, you know, again, it's just that fucking comes from nowhere, leaves me all... And like I wasn't all sort of fucking down in the dumps or whatever, but I totally ignored my phone from about 3 or 4 o'clock, something like that. It was just, I didn't even know where it was. I could hear it pinging now and then. There was a few pings, but nothing like major. Nothing major. Just a few updates and stuff. There was nothing that I madly needed to reply to or anything. But it was, yeah, it was kind of somewhere between sort of feeling okay and in one of my modes. It was like I was still kind of, I wasn't sad with it, if you know what I mean. I was low function, not low mood, maybe. Yeah. It was, you know, kind of just, I don't give a fuck. Don't give a fuck. I did start to not give a fuck about anything. And yeah, it's fucking... This is the sort of shit I mean about it would be nice to just have a reliable head. Because this shit just fucking happens. And, you know that there's a world out there that is just in unison going to say stuff like, but we'll all go through it too. You know, just don't worry. All of that, it's going to just not get interpreted. It's just going to be confusing and people go, what? Oh, I don't know, or whatever. It'll just be a thing that doesn't really get acknowledged, and that is the problem. That is the problem. You know, is that I really always get stuck here about, you know, it's what other people think and what other people say. It's how other people treat you. It's how you slot in to your societal framework, whichever particular one you find yourself in. And people do treat you very differently when they think you're being just too sensitive, when you're just going on about it, when you're, you know, negative, you're draining. You don't need people like that around you. La da 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 da. I know one thing I said to my mate last night actually about these societal things. Like literally the one that I've commented on before that I don't really like, or I never used to like. Someone said it to me, it was in that song. She said, the song reminds me of you, and it was that line that used to... What do you mean? What do you mean I'm not okay and that's okay? What are you fucking saying? And it still does encounter Mikey logic. What do you mean that's okay? That's okay. But that's because of the American phrase, isn't it? That's how they say things. say things when something is okay or not okay. They're talking about it being like socially acceptable or sort of personally acceptable. It's not okay to say that to me. I mean, don't fucking do it. So when they say it is okay to not be okay, they're saying it's normal, you know. Don't challenge it. Like the stuff I've been saying. It is what it is. If it feels like that, it feels like that. No matter how someone else tries to describe it from their objective viewpoint when they're not experiencing the emotions involved with it, it's very easy for them to say, well, just don't worry about it. Well, it's only this. Because it's all over there. They're not overcome by it. But yeah, it's just a stupid phrase because they're trying to make it into some sort of pun. Ooh, isn't that clever? But it just makes it confusing. What they're basically saying is that, you know, all feelings are normal and valid and blah, blah, blah. It's a really difficult point to make without it sounding patronising, isn't it? But if you translate it into Mikey language, what it means is this fucking shit happens anyway. Despite fuck all happening out there, I'm left picking up the fucking pieces of it. Feels fucking horrible and it affects me massively. That's not my fault. I didn't make it happen. It did happen to me. That's what they're fucking saying. So you've got this world that insists it's okay not to be okay. Try and tell anyone that you're not okay. They'll tell you that you're okay. They will. They fucking will. The world doesn't let anyone be okay not to be okay. If anyone is not okay, they're told they're okay. It's other people that are not okay. That's the problem. That really is the fucking problem. Let people not be okay then. If it's okay not to be okay, let them not be okay. Do you? Or do you instantly tell them it's not happening, try to fix them? Tell them other people just go through it anyway. Because if you do, those are the things that just make people go, I'll give up. I'll give up. I'll give up. And after you've said I'll give up 1,000 times, because it's kept happening over the months and the years and now the decades, and it's the same fucking conclusions being drawn about me and fed back to me and told me what I'm doing, not what's happening, not that I'm unwell. No, it's what I'm doing, it's decisions I've made, it's choices I've made. It's fuck all to do with anyone else's fucking total mistreatment of me. No, we're going to give them all the sympathy. They're the ones that need the love. They're the ones, look at the terrible shit they did to you. They must have been going through, let's all give them sympathy. Fuck you. I want you to talk about them now, actually. Even though they fucking hurt you. No, you fucking send them some fucking love. Who got missed in that? Who got fucking missed every fucking time in that? That's how it's feeling. That's how it feels. When people say they acknowledge pain, it's in a sentence. Yeah, I know, but... And they're back where they want to be again. They briefly step in and out as a form of acknowledgement. Because the argument always is, well, what are you going to do? Just wallow in it? So there you are, dealing in absolutes yourself. Dealing in fucking block interpretations. If you acknowledge you're upset, you are wallowing in it. You don't need to wallow in it, therefore you do this. Now I've fixed you, now I'm going to shout at you. That's a boiled down version of what goes on a lot of the time from helpful people. And I'm not talking about the kind helpful people. I'm talking about, and there are a great deal of many of them out there, dominant compulsive helpers. The ones who say they've got their shit together. The ones who are always orchestrating everyone else's recoveries. What they are is... that's their coping strategy, basically. They've got exactly the same problem as people with things like addictive issues or, you know, behaviourally addictive issues, all sorts of issues. Behaviourally addictive issues. I'm talking about like codependent relationships or victim role stuff, you know, why does this always happen to me, weeping and wailing, all that stuff. And some people are addicted to those behaviours. Some people create them. And that's what dominant compulsive helpers are. And that's why they get angry when you don't want their help. Because if you don't want their help, you're saying that they're useless. They have a fear of being useless. They need to feel useful. Like so many people's fucking problem. You need to feel validated. All the same shit that I need, that I'm called weak and needy for needing validating. You know, there are a hell of a lot of people getting those strokes by pretending to help others aggressively. So, you know, if I'm a help-rejecting complainer, often called that, There are loads of labels out there. Help rejecting complainer, victim role, all that stuff. It's, you know, victim role's a terrible one, because what about for the people who actually are not victims, because it sounds as a harsh word, but well, you are a victim. If someone has abused you, you're a victim. But, you know, victim role. Oh, you're victim rolling. It's like, what that label does is just put a plug on what that person's trying to share. The thing that you're saying it's okay not to be okay for. That's where a lot of the confusion is we love these big principles. It's okay not to be okay. Open up and talk about it. And everyone's like, wow, mental health awareness. Let's jump on this. Let's all share the shit out of it. But they forget about the smallings? The small little dynamics of those little interactions where people are trying, and because of the level that they think it's at, oh, it's ignore that. No, that's not it. And it presents as hypocrisy. It's saying one thing and doing another. That's basically, by and large, I'm not talking to individuals, but by and large, it's very confusing. It is very confusing when you hear some of the stuff people talk about modern society, and then you actually apply the dynamics, as I say. Put it into practice. Does anyone make it okay not to be okay without being overly sympathetic and making a big drama out of it themselves? Do you know what I'm saying? Have a think about it. When you say about those times you're not okay, it's okay if you have a label, though. If something has happened, which other people can totally definitely see, yes, that amount of pain, that amount of incident is allowed to equal that amount of pain, like, you know, a significant loss or, you know, a life-changing moment, that kind of thing, then it's okay not to be okay, as long as there's a very rigid, immovable, definite reason for it. Well, of course they're upset. Read up on sick roll. That's part of it. You know, you're allowed to be in sick roll, and it's not, sick roll is a society thing. It's not just a personal thing. Like when someone is sick, they're excused from working, sort of socially. It doesn't matter, you know, they shouldn't be working. But they're also expected to stay in. They might be expected to go to the doctor and expected to stay in bed. If you're too ill to work, why aren't you in bed at home or whatever? That's the kind of things with sick roll. So with emotionally sick roll, if someone's emotionally unwell, if there's been a big instigator of that, they're allowed to be in that role. They're then offered sympathy, you know, extra time. People will cancel appointments to make sure they're okay. When it is questionable, all of a sudden, it is very much fucking not okay to not be okay. Try not being okay and telling someone that you're not okay and see if it's okay. Because by and large, I have found that it's not. And, you know, I do have friends who get what I'm saying. They know the position I'm in and whatever. But again, you do get to that point of helplessness. It's like, okay, so that is true, but what do we do? Well, what we do is we start fucking talking about it and making mental health videos. And what we do is we accept whatever shit's thrown at us. So we agree to a course of therapy that I probably could even fucking take the lessons myself. To be fair, if you give me 5 minutes with the literature, I'd be able to take the groups. But doesn't matter. Take them anyway, because I'm putting myself in patient role. I am not the educator. I'm the sick one. Teach me. I'm here to learn. Agree to the DBT. Agree to discuss the meds. Join a fucking support group. Do what you fucking can about it. Talk about this shit like it's normal, like it's real. Other people will fucking go, yeah, I do that too. And maybe they'll feel fucking validated. Because the world keeps telling them that they're making it all up. I've met them. I've met fucking hundreds of them. I've met loads of them. Which is, you know, why I know what I'm fucking talking about, really. But I really don't want this to sound like a bitter, angry man going, yeah. Because society can be very good at judging you like that. Once you've been judged like that, you're fucked. No one wants to fucking listen to you. And it's very, very, very much not okay to not be okay. Even when you're feeling that not okay. I'm not going to play with that anymore because it's boring. But, okay.